Dam bursts in war-torn Sudan. 20 villages completely washed away. At least 60 people reportedly killed. Over 200 still missing. Death toll likely to rise further in Sudan dam collapse. Search and rescue operation underway. Torrential rains and subsequent floods claim over 130 lives. UN says over 1 lakh people displaced due to rains. Surging waters have burst through a dam in eastern Sudan, wiping out at least 20 villages and leaving around 60 people dead. Search operations are currently underway, but there are fears that the death toll could rise even further. According to reports, around 200 people are still missing. Torrential rains caused floods that on August 25 overwhelmed the Arbat Dam, which is 40 kilometers north of Port Sudan, the de facto national capital and base for the government. The Arbat Dam has a capacity of 25 million cubic meters and is the main source of drinking water for the coastal city of Port Sudan. After being ravaged by 16 months of civil war, Sudan is now experiencing torrential rains and floods that have killed dozens and forced tens of thousands to leave their homes. According to reports, the total death toll from torrential rains and subsequent floods have reached 132. According to authorities, over 12,000 homes have completely collapsed and over 11,000 others partially collapsed due to the rains. It added that most of the damage is in Sudan's northern and River Nile states. According to reports, the dam had started crumbling and silt had been building during days of heavy rain that had come much earlier than usual. Sudan's dams, roads and bridges were already in disrepair before the war between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces began in April 2023. Both sides have since invested the bulk of their resources into the conflict, leaving infrastructure badly neglected. Health Ministry said that several people had fled their flooded homes in several devastated villages and headed to the mountains where they were now stranded. According to United Nations agencies, at least 118,000 people have been displaced by the rains this year. The conflict in Sudan began when competition between the army and the RSF, who had previously shared power after staging a coup, flared into open warfare. Both sides have been seeking to protect their power and extensive economic interests. Meanwhile, the international community have promoted a plan for a transition towards civilian rule. Apart from that, efforts have been made to reach a ceasefire, including Saudi and US-led talks in Jeddah, which have not eased the fighting. According to reports, half of the 50 million population of Sudan lacks sufficient food.